A week to the day, as of tomorrow, Diagon Alley was officially announced at Universal Orlando via a special webcast that you had to have some sort of an email link in order to access, which I'm pretty sure everyone got that link anyway. It wasn't a very well-kept secret, if there was even one at all. So, I wanted to talk about my opinions on what we may be seeing come summer 2014. Now, first off, the first thing I'm going to say right off the top is the webcast started late. I didn't think that the website was able to handle the traffic that was being thrown its way. That's probably the reason why that happened. And when it finally did open, we saw a goblin. And there was a goblin, and they were standing in front of the vault at Gringotts Bank. And this, of course, also revealed Matt Woodbury from Universal Creative. And basically, this would be the official announcement of Diagon Alley. Now, they weren't in Gringotts at Diagon Alley. Oh no, they were in a soundstage, and you could tell it was a soundstage. But they also had a studio audience, even though they never said anything, and you never heard a peep out of them. It's almost like they weren't even there. But you did have that shot where you saw that they were there, even though they were probably told not to say anything. There was also a Q&A portion afterwards, but I didn't really see anything more than just him awkwardly trying to answer questions and wait for questions to come in. It would have been a lot better if Universal would have set up some sort of a Twitter hashtag you could set up in order to get your question read during the webcast, but apparently that did not happen. So that might have been a little bit more less confusing than it really was. So, of course, we had Matthew Lewis, and he comes out, and that's Neville Longbottom, and he made the official announcement of Diagon Alley. And before we got started with any Harry Potter goodness, we were treated to of course, Universal infomercial that's highlighting the opening of Cabana Bay in a couple of months, which I'm really excited to be staying at for opening weekend of Halloween Horror Nights this year, as well as the brand new eating establishments surrounding Universal City Walk. And, excuse me. Sciences again, sorry. Now, he brought out James Phelps, which of course is Fred Weasley. And they made a couple of announcements. Now, they were talking about how the Hogwarts Express was going to be only available to ride if you have a park-to-park ticket. Because technically, you're going from park to park. So, those park-to-park tickets are going to become a lot more normal. And the people that are buying the one-park tickets are going to be left out in the cold. Basically, the one-day tickets are probably going to kind of disappear slowly but surely. Because there's going to be a lot of people coming this year, and they're going to want to ride the Hogwarts Express, and they can only do that if they have a park-to-park ticket or an annual pass, like this guy right here. Now, I'm sure that's going to help a little bit for Universal's bottom line when it comes down to it. Obviously, I can't ride the Hogwarts Express, what's this crap all about? And they're like, well, if you buy a park-to-park ticket, fine, whatever. So, there you go. Make the kiddies happy by having mommy and daddy buy the ticket that goes park to park. Universal wins, the kids win, everybody wins, folks. That's how it works. Now, when we actually show the Hogwarts Express, we show the interior of the Hogwarts Express, and it looks true to form of the film version of the Hogwarts Express. And we are joined by Terry Coop, who is one of the high-ups in Universal. And he also introduces us to Luna Lovegood, which is Ivana Lynch. Depending on how you're looking at it, it's flipped on that, but still, Ivana Lynch. So, we're basically talking about the Hogwarts Express, and it's kind of like Universal's monorail, I guess you would say, but it doesn't hold as many people, so it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of log jams this causes when people are at the King's Cross station. So, let's talk about that, shall we? You could definitely tell that Matt Woodbury doesn't really feel comfortable being a host of something like this because he kept referring to this as the summer of 2010. I think he was just reading old promotional materials for the original Wizarding World of Harry Potter when it was in the Hogsmeade section, that is, the Islands of Adventure. So let's talk about the London facades. The London facades are, of course, King's Cross Station, which is also the main hub. That's where we know. It's how, of course, you get over to Hogsmeade. And you go from Hogsmeade back to Diagon Alley. Now, Charing Cross Road, which leads up to the Leaky Cauldron. Grimmauld Place, which is home of the Black family, obviously Sirius Black. And Leicester Square Station for the London Underground. And, of course, Wyndham's Theatre. Apparently, the Eros Fountain from Piccadilly Circus is also going to be recreated for this area as well. So it's going to look very lifelike to London in the Harry Potter novels and films. So, of course, it's not the London section without the big blue night bus. Of course, there's going to be some interactivity inside that's going to have, of course, your talking shrunken head with the Caribbean accent, obviously. And apparently, you can't really look into Diagon very easily from this vantage point. But apparently, any entrance into this wizarding world is marked by a special type of magic. We'll talk about that. So in Hogsmeade's Village, which of course is over at Islands of Adventure, there's going to be the new train station. And the new train station is going to be just to the right of the current entrance to the area. Obviously close to the photo op and next to Dragon Challenge. Apparently, it's going to lead them around Dragon Challenge and to this new station, which mirrors the look of the existing one, complete with a snow-capped roof. So, of course, no worries, the train station and the photo op with the conductor will still remain, so you can still get that. Now, King's Cross itself is a near replica of the real station in London itself, and will feature 9 3/4, which of course offers this magical entrance into the Wizarding World. Now, Universal's not going to tell us everything, not just yet. But apparently each trip is going to offer something a little extra. Obviously, if you've been in the parks, you would see that this is a very small area that takes you from park to park. And the only thing you really would be able to see would be some backstage area and some of the parks. Well, not this time. The LCD screens will showcase a little bit extra, a little bit of magic, if you will, because you're going to be seeing scenic countryside views of London. And it's going to be phenomenal, and there's going to be some special surprises that may pop up from time to time. Maybe you'll see Bellatrix Lestrange. I know that Helena Bonham Carter was actually filming some new content, so obviously this is going to go either in this or in Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, whichever comes first. And who knows, maybe you're going to be attacked by some Dementors, potentially. You never know. So, all this right here just sets you up, and like I said, it's a park-to-park ticket. That's the only way you're going to be able to experience the Hogwarts Express. So, like I said, if you get in the parks, and you paid your ticket, you got a one-day, one-park ticket, and the kids are like, Mommy, let's go over, and I want to see Forbidden Journey, and I want to go to Ollivanders. And the response is, well, Ollivanders is here, but I want to ride Forbidden Journey too, so let's go over there. So they go over to King Cross Station, and they get ready, and they get ready to get on the train, and then the conductor checks them, and it's like, no, you have been stopped. You shall not pass, in this case, because you only have a one-day, one-park ticket. And he's like, so the kids are upset, and then the family's upset, and then it's like, wait a minute, okay, fine, how much does it cost? And they tell him, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll buy the extra ticket. So I can get over, and I can look like a great parent because I gave my kid exactly what they wanted, and also got to see it myself. So, Universal wins that way. The family wins, the kids win, nobody's mad, nobody's upset, and everyone has an amazing day. Why? Because they are able to travel to the Hogwarts Express. Now, apparently, there is a rumor that I don't know anything more about, that this is going to be very much like the new Star Tours. What do you mean by that, Owen? Well, I'm going to tell you what I mean. This is not going to be something that happens every single trip. it sounds to me like there is a possibility, a very distinct possibility, that they're going to be different every single time. So there's going to be multiple things you can see while you're riding the Hogwarts Express over to Hogsmeade, or from Hogsmeade over to Diagon Alley. And that is something awesome in itself. Like, who knows, maybe you'll see a Death Eater, or you see Dementors, or maybe he who shall not be named himself. Who knows what you're going to see when you're riding the Hogwarts Express. It's magic, after all. So, there's that special pathway I talked about. Remember I talked about the brick wall? And they're going to part just like in the films when Hagrid, of course, first let Harry Potter into the area for the first time. Now, we have seen concept art, and we have seen behind the curtain footage, like pictures of this jagged, crooked wall that is the only way that you can get into Diagon Alley. Now, apparently, it's going to be extremely tall. Obviously, these facades are phenomenally huge, as we have seen anybody that's been in the parks recently, or been in the parks when it first started. Now, the Main Street. Let's talk about this. I'm going to talk about the shops, and then we're going to talk about all of the shops. Now, these main shops and eateries, in general, include the following. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. It's going to be 3 stories tall. And there's practical jokes and gag toys. Basically, this is going to be where the Zonkos goes. Like, when Zonkos, of course, is going to close very soon. And that whole section is going to become Honeydukes. Honeydukes is basically going to take over the Zonkos section. It's going to be all Honeydukes. So it's going to be, get all your awesome stuff, and get like your cauldron cakes, and get your chocolate frogs, and get your pumpkin juice, cold pumpkin juice in this case, that's in a bottle. Very soon, hopefully, we can get butterbeer in a bottle. That's what I'm hoping for. And I think that's going to happen. Now, I've seen these concept photos, and there is a spiral staircase in the middle of this place. So obviously, it is multiple layers, and it's not just for team members. You're going to be able to get up there. Now, there's going to be a new section, a new Ollivanders that's going to be inside here. It's going to be expanded, obviously, because the Ollivanders over at Hogsmeade is so freaking tiny. This one right here is going to have a better queue, thankfully. And it's going to be a lot, there's going to be a lot more shows taking place. There you go. So yeah, that's Ollivanders. Isn't it? Then we have Wiseacre's Wizarding Equipment. You can purchase telescopes and binoculars, armillary spears, compasses, magnifying glasses, hourglasses. You have the word glasses, you're probably going to be able to get them. And then, of course, we have our quality Quidditch supply store, where you can buy all your Quidditch team merchandise. Yes, it's actually going to be a sports store that Sir Owen Disney would actually go into and may purchase something. You can get all your sweaters, your brooms, your golden snitches, your bludgers, your bludger bats, and your quaffles. All of this will be available for purchase at the Quality Quidditch Supplies store. Then, of course, we have Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. You can get all your Hogwarts uniforms, all your ties, your scarves, your jumpers, all the way up to robes, authentic robes, and character costumes. So, yes. We have the Magical Menagerie, which is going to have some plushes. Some plushes of different things, like obviously we have owls and hippogriffs, and apparently there's all sorts of different creatures, both dark arts and obviously the niceties here, like the owls and hippogriffs, but then again you also have like creatures like snakes and possibly spiders, like Aragog maybe. I would say an Aragog plush is almost a guarantee, given the fact that Magical Menagerie is going to have a little bit of everything. We have the Scribulus, which of course is going to be your writing implements. You have your feather quills, your inks, your inkwells, bookmarks, journals. It's going to be kind of like a, it's going to be like a journal store, or maybe a scrapbooking store, or something pretty much where you'll be able to get all your writing. You have your parchment paper, all your seals, your stationery sets, and that's where you can pick up your postcards. So there's also some other stores that are not announced yet. We have some facades and windows, of course, just like in Hogsmeade. You're going to have the Daily Prophet, and Dr. Filibuster's Fabulous Wet Start, No Heat Fireworks, Obscurus Books, and House Elf Placement. Now, this wouldn't be Diagon without a trip into the dark side, if you will. So Nocturne Alley definitely is a part of this. It's just to the right of the entrance of the Leaky Cauldron. It's a nice, small, dark archway, kind of like a Sting Alley at Universal itself, is what I'm thinking right now. It's always nighttime. It's completely covered from the sunlight. You'll see Borgin and Burke's, and that's your main shop right there. And they have all your dark arts merchandise. You can have Death Eater masks and skulls and other very sinister items. That's going to be there. And, of course, on top of this, we have our two eating establishments. One being Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor, which I'm really excited about getting to have butterbeer ice cream, as well as, of course, the strawberry peanut butter ice cream that they already sell over at the Three Broomsticks, and all sorts of different Muggle-style ice cream that you're going to very much enjoy, and I'm going to enjoy spending a lot of money on. Thank God for that annual pass discount. Now, the big deal right here, of course, of the dining establishment is the fact that the Three Broomsticks is at Hogsmeade. What comes to Diagon Alley, that has to be the Leaky Cauldron, which, of course, I talked about a little bit when I was talking about Nocturne Alley. Now, the Leaky Cauldron is going to bring a British pub-style fare, kind of like the Three Broomsticks. What I'm hoping for at this point, at Three Broomsticks, I have to drink lemonade, because there's no soda in Harry Potter at all. Now, is there soda in Harry Potter I just don't know about? Like, I don't know, maybe like a fizzy lifting drink, kind of like Willy Wonka, potentially? I don't know. But hopefully there'll be brand new specialty beverages coming to Diagon Alley in the form of a Leaky Cauldron. And I know that over the Harry Potter celebration over last weekend, they were testing out warm butterbeer, which I'm really excited to be able to grab. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be available at the Leaky Cauldron, along with the cold butterbeer and my personal favorite, the frozen butterbeer, which I love so much. So, who knows, maybe a frozen hot chocolate style butterbeer. I love that so much. Now, the issue here is also talking about the main attraction. Not like anything I didn't mention wasn't phenomenal. But before I get into talking about the ride, the big ride, I want to talk a little bit about Carkit Market. And Carkit Market is basically a second street. A completely second street that runs parallel, that just makes it even bigger, even more expansive. Now, there are two paths, one in front of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, and one is a street that passes right by Gringotts. That's called Horizont Alley. Now, basically, this Carkit Market area, which is going to be huge, apparently, it's going to have a lot of live entertainment, a lot of shopping, and some more surprises that you don't really know. It's a covered space. It's kind of like a farmer's market, basically, is exactly what it is. And it links the backside of Diagon Alley to the far right borders of the expansion. It's kind of like Leaden Hill Market. I'm sure Ashley's getting a real kick at me trying to pronounce these things. So that's really interesting to see what happens. And all the surprises Universal is going to throw in on top of that. Now, the big attraction is going to be Gringotts. Now, everyone knew that Gringotts was going to be a roller coaster. Well, it's not just that. Gringotts is a multi-sensory, multi-dimensional journey that will take theme park attractions to a new level. Thank you, Universal. Which basically means this is going to be in 3D! Now, it's now official that a couple of things that everyone was speculating about I can now finally be just put to bed. Rumors that we were going to get a audio animatronic dragon on top of Gringotts at all times, breathing fire, if you will. It's true. It's gonna happen. And I can't wait to see it. The second one that everyone was wondering about, the name. Everybody's wondering what we're going to call this. Gringotts Bank Coaster, what everybody's been calling it. Well, it's officially titled. We have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey over at Hogsmeade, over at IOA. And now, because it makes total sense, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is going to be the official title of this new attraction. And it's going to be phenomenal. As a matter of fact, this Gringotts area towers over all the rest of Diagon Alley. And that says something, considering the fact that area is pretty tall. As anybody who's been to the parks or seen pictures of the parks knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now, there's going to be a huge, elaborate experience, even more so than Forbidden Journey, if you can even believe that. There's going to actually be goblins themselves working inside the bank, just like in the books and in the films. This walkthrough is said to be even more immersive. Even more immersive than Forbidden Journey, and I don't know how that's even possible. But this camera that I'm shooting on right now, this iPod Touch, is going to take you way into Gringotts in September. Mark my words, there will be a lot of Harry Potter content in September. I will guarantee you that. I don't know how well the videos are going to turn out in Diagon Alley, given the fact that it's so dark, but hopefully I'll be able to work that out. Now, it may be even more immersive. It's basically a minecart, kind of like, obviously, we have the Seven Dwarfs mine ride that's opening as well this summer. And we have like a mine ride. Basically, it is taking you through Gringotts. And of course, at one point, it looks like you're going to steal something. So the dragon comes in and messes with your day. And of course, apparently, he who shall not be named may or may not be involved with this experience. Now, apparently, even I said all of that, even the potential of being chased by a freaking dragon, and the he who shall not be named, this is still going to be less intense than Forbidden Journey, and a lot more family-friendly. Interesting. That's really interesting because you're completely saying the opposite. Now, you've got, excuse me, you got how, like, freaking creepy and intense Forbidden Journey is. Then you've got all the concept art and all of what we know, or what we think we know, that's going to be involved with the Escape from Gringotts. I don't know how it's going to be less intense, but I'm really curious to see what I'm saying. Now, I'm thinking family-friendly also means that it's going to be every person, every shape and size friendly as well. Not going to be as much of a tight fit as Forbidden Journey was, and still is to this day. So, that's what I'm really interested in. And apparently there's going to be some characters that have not been introduced into the parks yet. And we still don't have our walk-around characters. That'll never happen. J.K. Rowling will never let that happen. But still, it's something that we have to look forward to. Now, a lot of things to look forward to with this. I'm really excited to be able to try the new ice cream flavors. I'm really excited to try warm butterbeer. I'm excited to eat at the Leaky Cauldron. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great to be able to take video in this new section, this new area. It's going to be just like 2010 when I remember going through the Wizarding World of Harry Potter for the first time. Yes, I was there in September opening year, and it was insane. Being a single rider makes it a lot easier. Which I'm guaranteeing there'll be a single rider line when it comes to Escape from Gringotts. Do I think it'll have Universal Express? No. Not a guarantee, not right away. As a matter of fact, I think if it does get Universal Express, it's going to be a long time before it gets one. I think Universal Express will come to the Escape from Gringotts. Let's go with the beginning to the middle of 2015 at the earliest. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. So yes, it's a great year to be a Universal fan. It's a great year to be a Harry Potter fan, and I'm sure everyone will be extremely satisfied with the finished product. So yeah, really excited about Diagon Alley, really excited about the Hogwarts Express, really excited about the Escape from Gringotts, really excited about Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor, very much excited about Diagon Alley, just excited about the section. It's going to be phenomenal. And it's going to be great to just throw yourself in a different world. Just kind of like Springfield. Springfield, you throw yourself in a completely different world. You throw yourself in the world of Simpsons. And the second you turn into Diagon Alley, you're not going to feel like you're in Universal anymore. When you go to Hogsmeade at Islands of Adventure, you don't feel like you're at Universal anymore. You feel like you're inside the book or inside the movie. And that's exactly how an experience needs to be. Universal right now are calling everyone's bluff. Universal of doing a lot of things. Look how fast Transformers went up. New Fantasyland will finally be open this year, and everything will be completely good, and Disney has Avatar in the next couple of years, and of course like the Cars Land expansion that was potentially going to Hollywood Studios, and the Monsters Inc. Door Coaster was supposed to go to Hollywood Studios. It looks like those are going to happen. We have Star Wars potentially to go into Tomorrowland or into Hollywood Studios, depending on how you look at it. And all this stuff is up in the air right now because of Magic Bands. I love my Magic Band, but Universal is striking blows right now. Universal is trying to be the destination. Not just a destination, the destination. And you know, I think they're going to be knocking on Disney's door a lot sooner than later. And I'm pretty sure, don't forget, they still own that Wet and Wild property that they could get rid of and turn into, I don't know, maybe a third gate, potentially. A lot of people are wondering what we do with a section like that. Like, there are rumors that Universal is talking to the Tolkien estate about bringing Lord of the Rings in to obviously combat Avatar, which, like I said, I don't think is going to be a big deal. I'm excited about the section, but of course I hated the movie. Now, Lord of the Rings, on the other hand, even though I hate The Hobbit, it's a big deal. So, let's say you have, if they lose the Marvel contract, which eventually they're going to, they got to find a way to replace that. And apparently Toon Lagoon's days are numbered, and we got a brand new Jurassic Park section that's actually coming in. Rumors about King Kong coming in, that seems like it's going to happen too. So Universal is shooting a lot right now to try to take Disney down a couple pegs. And you know, us theme park fanatics are the winners here, because if there's competition, then that means that we all win, because we all get brand new experiences, brand new attractions, brand new shows, and brand new eateries that we never would have had before. So, that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe. Help spread the word about Pop and this Popcaster revolution. You can like our Facebook fan page, Suro and Disney Pop. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Suro and Disney. And finally, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions, you're more than welcome to suroanddisney@gmail.com. Or last but not least, don't forget, you can be my friend on Facebook. In the meantime, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and I'm going to have me some dinner, because I'm actually hungry. I haven't eaten since 11 o'clock. So, until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.